You know, I don't think there's anybody who knows a damn thing about movies that wouldn't acknowledge that Shia LaBeouf is a damn good actor. I mean, he's utterly a fantastic actor. You also would probably know that he comes with some baggage. You know, Shia,
That's well put.
he's had some shenanigans, as you would say, that, you know,
Or shenanigans.
or shenanigans. I like that. A lot of people
guy
think,
said
you
it
remember
first.
the other week we talked about Brad Pitt has his shit list of people he won't work with again. There's a lot of talk that Shia LaBeouf is one of those. I don't know that for a fact. I think he's a tremendous performer. I love watching his work. Like just recently, his Peanut Butter Falcon performance was so good. Like he's just so good in everything. Now, of course, he was cast to be in the new Olivia Wilde movie called Don't Worry, Darling. And then famously, not long before production started, they fired him and they brought in Harry Styles. Now, at the time, they didn't say they fired him. They say they was due to scheduling conflicts,
There's a lot of those.
which 10% of the time it really is true. 10% of the time it really is scheduling. 90% of the time that's a cover BS. Totally cover BS. Well, now Olivia Wilde was being interviewed about this and she just came clean. No, Olivia Wilde straight up fired Shia LaBeouf off the movie. And then they brought in Harry Styles. And this is what she said about this. This came to us from the folks at Joe Blow. She said the following. She said, I say this as someone who is such an admirer of his work. His process was not conducive to the ethos that I demand in my productions. He has a process that in some ways seems to require a combative energy, and I don't personally believe that that is conducive to the best performances. I believe that creating a safe, trusting environment is the best way to get people to do their best work. Ultimately, my responsibility as the director of the film is to the production and to the cast to protect them. That was my job. A lot came to light after this happened that really troubled me about Shia's stuff. In terms of his behavior, I find myself just really wishing him health and evolution because I believe in restorative justice. But for our film, what we really needed was an energy that was incredibly supportive, particularly with a movie like this. I knew that I was going to be asking Florence Pugh to be in a lot of vulnerable positions. And my priority was making her feel safe and making her feel supported. And that comes to us from Olivia Wilde. All right. Number one, that is the nicest way to say he's a dick. Listen, that was a perfectly phrased thing because number one, he is a great performer. And I would say this, I think this is a great example, Rob, that it's often about fit because I personally believe there probably are a lot of productions. There's probably a lot of movies and a lot of productions where a guy like Shia LaBeouf and the energy he brings and his process, as Olivia Wilde would say, is exactly what certain movies need. And he would be great on a set and he would be great for that project. But if Olivia Wilde likes to run her set a certain way and the quote unquote energy that he brings or his process, isn't in line and isn't conducive to what she needs to get her best movie possible, then you know what? You got to cut bait and move on. He's a great actor. Nobody's denying that. But if he's not right for that production, that particular team, that doesn't mean he won't be great on another production and working with another team. Not at all. But with this, she made the decision she thought was best for her movie. And from everything we've seen from Don't Worry, Darling, it looks like it worked out pretty well. Anyway, Rob, you read these comments. What do you think about the situation?
Well, I have to tell you, we saw her speak live at CinemaCon.
Yep.
And seeing Booksmart, I am very impressed with her.
That's like one of the 5 or 6 best directorial debut movies I've ever seen.
She's
I couldn't believe how good that was.
I mean, it's a beautifully directed film, and Don't Worry, Darling is coming out next month,
which looks great.
Producer Roy Lee has 2 movies within 2 weeks coming out. Barbarian, Taylor's new favorite movie, and then Don't Worry, Darling comes out 2 weeks later. What a September to have! But I am very impressed by her. I think she really developed Don't Worry, Darling. It was like her. I brought it forth, and I mean, come on, she's incredibly beautiful as well. Let's be honest. But I think she's an incredible. Like every time I've heard her speak or interviewed, she's just very impressive. But what she has to do, and she laid it right out. A director sets the tone, man, And you've got to protect your actors. And as we've seen in the trailer for Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah, when Olivia Wilde says she puts Florence Pugh in some vulnerable situations, I can't remember how much of what we saw at CinemaCon they have not shown in the trailers, but they really ask her to be in some vulnerable positions.
I mean, there's a love scene with Harry Styles.
Yeah.
That made my eyebrow raise. But it looks like she has to do a lot of things, go through a lot of emotional stress, whatever's going on, we don't really know. But a director must protect their actors. And that's one of the and providing an environment where you can do your best work. And I like the fact that she's renowned for having a no asshole policy on set.
Yeah.
That's what she said. And I think, you know what? She's an impressive force in Hollywood. So if she felt the need to replace Shia LaBeouf, it's never easy to replace an actor once you've cast them. But more power to her. I think she did what she needed to do, and I think she'll continue to do that. I just can't wait to see. She's working on a Marvel movie now, which we don't know what it is.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
And then Don't Worry, Darling looks to me like, if it's anything like the trailers, I think we're going to get something pretty special from it.
You know what's funny too, though? Like, having seen the footage that we saw at CinemaCon and having seen the trailers, I am a big fan of the work of Shia LaBeouf. I think he's a tremendous performer. I have a very hard time picturing him in that movie.
I totally agree with you.
Right now that we've seen the footage,
Yeah.
it's like, I can't picture him in this.
Especially because, it's this, I don't know what it is, some hermetically sealed, perfect environment to live in. Shia LaBeouf does not strike me as a dude who would live there.
Yeah.
Whereas Harry Styles, the way he looks and everything, it's like, he looks the part.
He looks the part.
If Chris Pine is their leader or whatever, I can't imagine Shia LaBeouf like, hey, following Chris Pine somewhere. But no, and again, sometimes when you have to make those tough choices, you wind up getting somebody even better.
Right. And you know what?
That's right. That's so funny though. That you articulated. I was thinking that, but I didn't say it. I love that you said that because I'm not the only one.
And don't worry about Shia LaBeouf. He will land on his feet. He's a talented enough actor. He's you go out and get that next role, Shia. Just do it. He'll get out there. He'll go find it. He'll get it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about Olivia Wilde's comment? I thought it was very well articulated.
Yes.
So as a director, you got to do what's best for your production. I thought she did. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, MeUndies. Now guys, we've all heard of gut instinct, but have you ever heard of butt instinct? It's when your butt tells you it wants new undies. Listen to your butt. Luckily for you, we work with MeUndies, makers of the most buttery soft and sustainable undies, bralettes, and socks that exist. Guys, for too long, I lived my life wearing those Amazon or Walmart 20-pack cheap underwear that I thought were just fine until I tried MeUndies. Now it's like my nether regions are in a Palm Springs resort. So guys, let your skin sing a song of joy with undies, socks, and bralettes that feel as if they're spun from silken clouds. Guaranteed to be the softest stuff you've ever felt in your life, their signature micromodal fabric is sustainable, breathable, and stretchy as heck. Available in sizes extra small to 4XL, they have new colors and prints dropping weekly, so there's always something exciting to check out. Try out their free-to-join membership for free shipping on every order and exclusive perks, like an item shipped to your door every month, secret sales, and early access to their newest stuff. MeUndies has a great offer for all John Campea Show viewers and listeners. For any first-time purchaser, you get 20% off, plus free shipping and returns. To get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea.